Like reading a thin customer, I couldn't help but fall in love with his soft, snow-white belly. Xiaomi, you are a piece of fragrant and soft cake. I really want to eat it in one bite. Baby woo woo. A row of bullet comments suddenly flashed in front of me, laughing mouse. Bevillain, spirit body is an SSS level Siberian tiger. She doesn't even understand the reason why you can't touch the tiger's tail. Didn't you see that the villain was so angry that the tip of his tail trembled? Why do I feel like I'm trembling with pleasure? After 3 months of traveling through the book, in order to survive, I secretly opened a black clinic specializing in treating orcs whose spirits are on the verge of violence. This is a Beast World article. Orcs have extraordinary physical fitness and can awaken beast-shaped spirit bodies, which can be called human-shaped killing weapons. Female spirit power has the function of soothing and healing orcs. The spirit power is extremely powerful and can also awaken into an aggressive female. The spirit bodies of orcs are mostly various furry, so this black clinic can also be said to have realized my wish to open a pet hospital. The patient who came for treatment today was an old customer. He was taciturn and had an excellent figure. His thin and powerful muscles were wrapped in a black combat uniform. I didn't know his name, but I knew that his spiritual body was a thin and weak little orange cat. The only special thing about him was that the pattern on his forehead formed a shallow word. The barrage that suddenly appeared in front of me made me freeze in my tracks. What little cat is a tiger? How is this possible? I was distracted for a moment, and the spiritual connection between me and the other party was disconnected. The man groaned, and his voice was hoarse. Yes, I'm sorry, let's do it again. I apologized quickly and tried to reconnect. However, as a female with only DL level spiritual power, my spiritual power is weaker than my purchasing power, and I failed to reconnect several times. I was very embarrassed and sorry. There's no more, not a drop left. Fearing that he would never come for treatment again, I took the initiative to offer a discount. I'll only charge you half the price this time, and I will definitely work hard next time. The man's Adam's apple rolled, and he was hesitant to speak. No way. You're asking for more, I said angrily. How about this? I'll give you the treatment for free this time, TOT. This can is for you. It's your cat's favorite. I took a can of fish from the shelf and accidentally touched the engagement ring on the table. I pushed it in. Turning back, I found that the man was staring at the cat toy on the table. Damn it, you want both? Do you think I can satisfy you? I'll give you this too. My heart was bleeding. Xiaomi, will you come again next time? After saying this, the man and I were both stunned. For the sake of privacy, customers who come to my place will not reveal their names. Xiaomi is the nickname I gave him. How could I call him out so sweetly? The stupid Canon fodder seems a little cute. Stupid baby, mommy, stupid baby. The villain checked his education. Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong set. This is a Beast World story, not a fancy story. Whose S-level beast man is called Xiaomi? How can our villains hold their heads up in the Beast World battlefield in the future? What a mess. I ignored the barrage that kept on brushing and looked at the man rambling lie. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a nickname. It's just that your spirit body is so cute. The more I explained, the more I felt like a pervert. I didn't mean to sexually harass you, really not. The man said, in a low voice, and paid the treatment fee with the optical brain, the full amount, and even paid more. Sir, you paid the wrong amount. Just think of it as the money fork in food and cat toys. The man pursed his lips and whispered, my name is Yuan Yi, the original Yuan, the wilderness Yi. Okay, Mr. He was so generous in my eyes. He was simply the god of wealth. Dingling, the wind chimes rang at the door of the store. 当时两位人在佛罗里达州的选票都非常的接近。最后吧 After seeing who was coming, I frowned and hurriedly stuffed a furry blanket to Yuan Yi. You take a rest first. The orcs who had just received treatment would fall into a period of weakness. Yuan Yi was slow to act, and I thought he thought the blanket was not clean. This is new. I washed and hung it, and no one has used it except you. The man nodded. You tamed me again. Xiaomi brother is silent, just secretly happy. The villain must think this is the blanket used by the heroine. The man and the machine are separated dog head. Where did these barrages come from? Where is the blocking button? I lifted the veil and was stunned when I saw the person coming. Why is it you? Lin Qianyu, the male protagonist of this book, an S-level Larcy, is also Wei Fiang. He looked up and down at my store, then looked at Xiaomi, who was separated by a curtain, and spoke with contempt. I didn't expect you to be so degraded now. As a female, you should only treat your partner, but you casually touched those dirty and smelly things. In the world of beasts, females are rare, and because of this unwritten rule, beastmen without partners can only endure endless pain until their mental rage is cleared by the highest will beast god. Ah, right. Write me 5 million star coins and I will close the shop immediately, I said perfunctorily. Lin Yanyu immediately changed his face. Chu Yi, I really didn't expect you to be such a materialistic woman. How can you compare to Elixia? Elixia, the heroine of this book, is also an extremely precious B-level female. I was shocked. Here it comes. I finally have to wait for the plot of breaking the engagement. My eyes were shining, waiting for Lin Yu to say the classic line to me. Elixia is the best female in the world. I will keep my virginity for her. Our engagement ends here. But I never expected that what I waited for was Lin Yu's uncle-like order. Give me some mental treatment first to reduce my rage index. I was stunned. Ah? What's the difference between this and Ayuta Chang ordering Ben Abe to get rid of Tang Monk and his disciples? He is an S-level or take playing games as an example. Elixia gives him a bite of milk and his health bar is directly full. I risk my life to add blood to him, which is almost the same as Kai. I buying 6 pairs of shoes. I said earnestly, you are seriously ill. You have to find Elixia. Lin Qianyu frowned. You are worthy of mentioning Elixides. Besides, how can I bear to let her work so hard? Females use their mental power to treat orcs, which can cause mental fatigue at best and mental damage at worst. If they treat orcs at higher levels, they will suffer mental backlash. Elixia is a B-level female, and treating S-level orcs is a jump of 2 levels, which is extremely dangerous, not to mention me, a small D-level. I treated other patients today, and my mental power is exhausted. Lin Yu sneered. Why are you pretending? You females have medicine to stimulate potential. Do you think I don't know? After taking that medicine, the female's mental power will be improved in a short period of time, but after the effect of the medicine ends, there is a high probability that she will become a I whispered, but that medicine has side effects. Lin Yu said confidently, as my Fiang P, isn't it natural for you to sacrifice for me? I was shocked. Buer, is this the type of the male protagonist? I was wondering why the male protagonist's rage index suddenly dropped. It turns out he sacrificed his cannon fodder for E. The female protagonist Elixia is B-level, and if you treat him, it will if you treat him, it will at most give him a headache. If you treat him, it will little cannon fodder. He may even lose his life. Hey, our Mei Bao is so cowardly. Even if the male protagonist pisses him off, he will probably just very light read the male protagonist. It's too late, huh? Lin Yanyu. The barrage will break my defense in minutes. How dare you reject me? I am your Feiyan. Aren't you afraid that I will break off the engagement with you? A female without the protection of orcs cannot survive in this world, and a female who is broken off by orcs will only be spurned by other orcs. Lin Yanyu first spoke incessantly, and suddenly a female bubbling sound came out of his throat. Shui, it is stormy outside. I'm your umbrella. Who will protect you from the wind, rain, the future? I blinked innocently. Is there a possibility that it doesn't rain outside without you? Lin Qianyu's face suddenly turned black. It seems that you don't realize the serious consequences of breaking off the engagement. Without an ORC as your husband, how can you, a level female, survive in the future? Behind the thin white gauze curtain, Yuan Yi's low after Cain. He doesn't know. Don't you also know that females are allowed to have polyandry? Lin Yanyu's face changed drastically and asked, what is your relationship with him? I explained, he is my patient. Lin Yanyu first felt the fluctuation of Yuan Yu's spiritual body, and then sneered with disdain. It turns out to be just a sea-level waste. You would rather treat such a thing than treat me. I repeated, I said, he is a patient. Then I will register now, and I ask you to treat me immediately. He was so unreasonable that I really didn't know what to do. Yuan Yi said lightly, bullying a precious female like this. Have you forgotten the first rule of the ORC management code? Lit Yan Yu was stunned. The first rule of orcs, female life is supreme. But soon, later you turn the tables. What does the family affairs of me and my fiancé have to do with you and outsiders? No outsiders. What about followers? Yuan Yi said calmly, Miss Kui, I'm willing to swear allegiance to you. Orcs swear allegiance to females, similar to knights swearing allegiance to their masters, and are willing to sacrifice their lives. In the setting of this Beast World article, swearing allegiance is a relationship that is far more loyal and stable than entering into a marriage. The spiritual power of the two will be linked together, and the female has absolute dominance. No ORC will easily swear allegiance to a female, especially a high-level ORC. Although I knew that Yuan Yu was just helping me out, I was still a little moved. Woo, just for this sentence, Mimi, I will take care of your cans from now on. Lin Qianyu's expression was extremely ugly. A little sea level is also talking to me. He released his spiritual body, a domineering greyhound. I was so anxious. Stop. Xiaomi is just a little cat. You are not allowed to bully it. High-level spiritual bodies will suppress low-level spiritual bodies, not to mention that Xiaomi is still in a weak period after treatment. Lin Yanyu sneered. The law of the jungle is the rule of this world. The greyhound quickly pounced on Xiaomi. In a hurry, I squeezed out the mental strength that I had finally recovered. Xiaomi quickly retreated behind me. Pa! A snowflake fell on the greyhound's nose and quickly melted. Me, damn it, it's damn useless. I won't get hit. I'm dying of laughter. I thought the little cannon fodder would transform into Elsa and start to let it go, but I didn't expect it to rub out a small snowflake. Arm, a bunch of red eggs. Don't laugh at my wife. That's right. Who said our baby is not good? This snowflake is to snowflake. My ears turned red with embarrassment, and the greyhound spirit in the air shook its head and sneezed. But you actually attacked me for him. The greyhound howled to Scott, but at this moment, another extremely oppressive spirit appeared in the air. A little orange cat looked up to the sky and howled. As if realizing that something was wrong, he changed his accent. Meow! The barrage of comments was crazy. Little brother me, have you forgotten the original from his beard? Our little brother me is also a combination, whose king of beasts is me wine, but the villain has been seriously injured and has degenerated into a juvenile form. What can he use to argue with the male protagonist? The tiger's head will be smashed. So the little orange cat is just the juvenile form of Yuan Yi. Then why did it learn to meow? But the tense atmosphere didn't allow me to think too much. In the air, a dog and a cat were in a dangerous confrontation. The greyhound growled twice, seemingly extremely fierce, but it didn't dare to move forward. Its two front legs were slightly bent, as if it was going to kneel on the ground. Lin Yumi himself was pale and sweating. I was afraid that Yuan Yi would suffer, so I secretly threw two small snowflakes at the greyhound. By you. Lin Qianyu's eyes shot at me, and I quickly turned my face away and whistled guiltily. Okay, very good, very good. Suddenly, Wei Mian put away his spirit body as if nothing had happened. Shu Yi, for your sake, I won't bother with him. Oh no, could it be that my little snowflake came in handy? I straightened my back a little. Now you know how powerful I am. Then why don't you get out of here? I waved my little fist, and the little orange cat in the air also waved its meow fist. Lin Qianyu's eyes were instantly filled with jealousy. Don't regret it. Lin Qianyu was not confident enough and turned around and walked out of the store. I suddenly thought of something and chased after it. Wait a minute. The ears of the little orange cat in the air drooped down and wilted. The environment in the beast world is harsh. The wind is cold, and I shivered with cold. Lin Qianyu's eyes lit up, and the corners of his mouth curled up. Shu Yi, I knew you still couldn't bear to part with me. I interrupted him. Alexia is the best female in the world. You have to keep your virginity for her. Our engagement ends here. Lin Qianyu's pupils trembled. What did you say? The barrage was also full of shock. How did it become that Mei Bao and the male lead broke off the engagement? The mammary glands unobstructed. This peaked male lead should quickly lock up with the third female lead into the market and never circulate it into the market and never circulated into the market. And well done. What's so good about a thin dog? It's better to hear a little Mimi brother who imitates the Mimi brother who imitate. What kind of tiger and wolf words are these? I pretended not to see it, took out the engagement ring, and threw into the sewer next to me. The moment I threw away the ring, I felt relaxed all over, as if the shackles that had been binding me were gone. It seems that as a cannon fodder, I have completely completed all the plots that belonged to me. Maybe it was because of the BIU I just successfully launched that I was swollen. I finally stood up and said, I don't like small dogs. Greyhounds are the fastest among dogs, and they can split even faster. After saying that, I ignored Lin Tianyu's reaction and trotted into the store. A warm and fluffy blanket was wrapped around my head. I couldn't help but sniff it twice, and it seemed to smell different. Yuani's ears turned red. I washed myself before coming here. It smelled like sea salt and sage. I was a little surprised. Do you also use that shower gel? Yuan Yi said seriously, I bought it at a discount. I looked up the original plot. Every time before Xiao Miji came to see Mei Bao, he took a shower and his skin was almost bald. Oh, this steaming tiger, he specially changed to the same shower gel as Mei Bao. He loves it so much. Our Xiao Miji is really a big villain who pretends to be a big villain, whose spirit body's tail is always shaking out after images. I won't tell you. I subconsciously looked up at the sky, and the little orange cat shook out its propeller tail. My black clinic business is getting better and better, and a big part of the reason is that Yuan Yi introduced his teammates to me, a ferruginous beast, a husky, and a white fox, all of whom are furry in spirit. The ferruginous beast is commonly known as the giant panther. Who in this world can resist the temptation of the national treasure? No. Therefore, every time I treat the iron-eating beast, I work the hardest. This day, after completing the treatment again, I said cautiously, can I make a small request? The iron-eating beast is a chubby boy named Xiao Dai. He has a layer of dark blue under his eyelids. He asked nervously, Sister, who are you going to kill? No, you misunderstood. I waved my hands repeatedly. I just want to touch your spiritual body. I breathed a sigh of relief. Whatever Sister wants to touch, I'm fine with it. It's so funny. The lion asks a lot, and Mei Bao asks a little. I is the assassin in the team. I guess he thinks Mei Bao wants him to assassinate someone. The younger brother is not bad. He has endless energy when farming. In comparison, little brother me is almost smelling like an old man. Thank you. I was so happy that I hugged the head of the iron-eating beast and sniffed it wildly. Baby, you are so cute. You are the sweetest little cake in the world. I looked up and saw Yuan Yi, who appeared out of nowhere. He looked listless, with a hint of red at the corners of his eyes, fragile and broken. Zhao greeted enthusiastically. Yuan Yi ignored him and looked straight at me with an inexplicably resentful tone. Is he your baby too? I didn't react for a moment. Yeah, who else is? Crash. In an instant, it seemed like something broke. After that day, Yuan Yi didn't come to see me for a long time. I asked the husky, is your captain busy recently? I said nothing, just kept destroying the house. Ahaha's rage index was very high, and he had a tendency to completely transform into a beast. He almost turned my black clinic upside down. I used up all my mental strength to barely regain his sanity. The captain has been assigned to protect Princess Alexia recently broke through Class A, and the Beast King granted him the title of princess. But his injuries are not healed yet. I was vaguely uneasy. Suddenly, a sneer came from behind. You still know how to care about the captain. You still have some conscience. The young man with black hair and white fur was another teammate of Yuan Yi Xiaobi AI. I don't know why he has always been very repulsive to me and very resistant to my treatment. Xiaobi AI, you are here. When Xiaobi AI was young, she was abused by a female who'd beaten, scolded him at every turn. The female also wanted to force him to become a beast and peeled off his fox skin to eat cushion. That's why he developed this arrogant look of saying one thing and thinking another. In my original world, Xiaobi was still a child, but he had already gone to the battlefield. Naturally, I wouldn't care so much about a child. I bought coconut water. How about coconut chicken today? I don't care. How about chicken stewed with mushrooms? I don't care. If I say, let's have coconut chicken, chicken stewed with mushrooms, and spicy chicken today, how will you respond? I'll go get the rice. After eating and drinking, shall be a. I wiped his mouth, reserve lie. The taste is just average. Aha widened his eyes. Usually you would eat bowls of rice. Are you a glutton? A dog and a fox started to quarrel, and I watched them with a smile. Zhao Ba. I quickly gained the upper hand with his IQ advantage and raised his chin towards me. Actually, I don't really want you to praise me, but I reluctantly allow you to praise me for being awesome. I perfunctorily said, wow, so awesome, baby. The white fox spirit in the air had its tail almost up to the sky. A barrage of comments suddenly appeared in front of me. This is what a fox spirit is like, with the manners of a brothel, not worthy of being in a formal hall. The position of the queen must go to our brother Xiaomi. It's over. Brother Xiaomi has seen us again, and brother Xiaomi is going to be broken again. I turned around in surprise and saw Yuan Yi, who was covered in blood. Yeah, it's the captain. Xiaobi AI Hu Lao, Captain. Yuan Yi glared at Xiaobi AI, who looked away guiltily. Xiaomi, you're hurt. In a hurry, I unconsciously called out the code name I gave to Yuan Yi. Because my mental power was exhausted, I couldn't use my mental power to detect Yuan Yi's scars, and could only use the simplest and most primitive means. I rushed forward and stripped off Yuan Yi's black slim combat uniform. The clean and clear Adam's apple was exposed, followed by the beautiful lines of the collarbone, and the barrage was screaming, it's Grandpa's lover. Don't call me Brother Xiaomi anymore. I support him as brother than I. The dead girl eats so well. Do you understand how to act? Let me act for 2 episodes. An SS level low, RC was approached and stripped of his clothes by a deal devil female. I think you have 800 eyes as a villain. From the chest muscles to the abdominal muscles, there was no wound. I looked at Yuan Yi cutely. Is the wound still below? As if guessing what I was thinking. Yuan Yi blushed and covered my hand that continued to check the wound. It's not my blood. It's Lynch Yuan Yu's. I felt relieved. Hey, if you had said so earlier, it would be fine. Ding! A video popped up on the light brain and pushed to everyone. Alexia was interviewed by reporters at the Princess Coronation Ceremony. God of Beasts, I am honored to have awakened my spiritual power to level A. I want to speak on behalf of all females and call on the entire galaxy to increase protection for females. As a vulnerable group, females should be loved and cared for by all orcs. Every female is precious and should not be harmed in the slightest. These are just old sayings. A reporter asked sharply. The battle on the front line is fierce, and more females with healing abilities refuse to participate in the war. What do you think of this? Alexia's eyes flickered, innocent and pitiful. I don't know how to fight. I only know that an excellent female should only treat her partner, otherwise it is a manifestation of infidelity. What do you think, Tianyu? Lin Tianyu smiled at him. Princess Alexia, you are absolutely right. Females who treat orcs casually are no different from sluts. The tiger roared, and all the beasts surrendered. A huge tiger shadow appeared, and Lin Tianyu hurriedly blocked it, but was slapped away. There was a lot of curses under the video comments. Captain Yuan Yi, you should know the occasion when you are jealous. You don't know, you can't choose him as your prince consort. They are a perfect match made in heaven. How can choose him as your prince consort? They are a perfect match made in heaven. How can you? A little three-bearded man object. It's just like a big villain. Princess Alexia and brother Yuanyu's beautiful love is so good. which our seek and have to be together for life. Before leaving, Xiao Bai gave me a thumbs up. Kui you know how to anger the captain. Me, it's unfair, sister. I hope I can have the chance to eat the food you cook again. Aha wanted to continue to say something, but Xiao Bai covered his mouth and dragged him away. I didn't take it seriously at the time, and I didn't expect that this separation would last 3 months. The next time I received news from Yuan Yi's team was on the news. The special operations team that Yuan Yi was in fought to the death and held their positions, but the mental rage index of all the team members was on the verge of limit, and the picture of a team member completely transformed into a beast was also broadcast back by video. The spirit body and the main body merged into one, and the huge body, after being completely transformed into a beast, was twisted and terrifying, but it guarded the gap in the last line of defense. I had nightmares for 3 days in a row. I was not afraid of the appearance of the orcs after being completely transformed into beasts, but I was afraid that one day Xiao Tai, Xiao Bai, and Yuan Yi would become like that. After the battle with the alien race became more and more intense, every female with healing ability received a doctor recruitment order. The only A-level female, Elixir, refused to participate in the war, and because of the uproar caused by that interview, there were few responses. After careful consideration, I finally made up my mind. I took the interstellar train to the front battlefield. I didn't expect that the first acquaintance I met was Lin Yanyi. There was great surprise in his eyes. Shu Yi, I knew you couldn't let me go. You traveled thousands of miles to be my exclusive doctor? I stepped back a few steps and distanced myself from him. Didn't you say that treating orcs who are not your partner is a slut? Lin Yanyi looked embarrassed. After arriving at the battlefield, he realized how important a female doctor was. Even if the violent index was reduced a little, there was hope of survival. That was just an emotional expression. Now we are on the front line. Shu Yi, why are you still so narrow-minded? Have you ever thought about how big a chain reaction your words have caused? Lin Yuanyu was speechless. Without looking back, I walked towards the team where Yuan Yi was. Hello, Captain. Escape immediately. The spirit body is in the healing sequence. And no, 16 is bleeding and reporting. Yuan Yi had lost a lot of weight, but his black eyes were surprisingly bright. Thousands of words could only be summed up in 4 words. Join the team. On the first day of joining Yuan Yi's special operations team, he gave me the position of captain, and he served as deputy captain. The captain should be a doctor. This has always been a tradition, the result of our joint vote. Yuan Yi said seriously. Xiao Ai, hello, Captain Xiao Zhu. Yeah, great. It's Captain Xiao Zhu we are saying. Xiao Bai snorted, but his body was very honest. Wait for me to serve you food. With the identity of captain, the whole team cooperated with and trusted me more. Although my arrival did not turn the tide, I never gave up. Even if the level of mental power was very low, I tried my best to heal every ORC. The casualties of the team gradually decreased, and my mental power was slowly upgraded. C level, B level, A level. When the last battle came, my mental power had reached the peak of A level. I stood on the top of the mountain and overlooked the entire battlefield. Winter has arrived and the first snow has fallen. The soft mental power covers a large area of every ORC who participated in the battle. Suddenly, a deep wound was torn on the greyhound that could be seen to the bone. Lin Yanyu glanced at the top of the mountain with a bitter smile on his lips. The next moment, the snowflakes wrapped the wound and healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Lin Yanyu's movements were stiff for a moment, and then he went all out. The husky pulled a car of orcs into the alien army. The iron-eating beast stabbed from behind, and the white fox flexibly finished off the enemy. The one that attracted the most attacks was a huge and majestic tiger shadow. The dominance of the SSS as level is so terrifying. The tiger roars in the mountains and forests, and all the beasts are startled. The wind blows across the sky. The last battle was a great victory. Yuan Yi's face was covered with blood, and he looked up at me. Small snowflakes fell on his head. My eyes went dark and I lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I was surrounded by various congratulations. Captain Chu, congratulations. I said that Captain Chu has a promising future and a bright future. I heard that Lit Yan Yu from the second team was originally Captain Chu's fiancé, but he was divorced for not keeping his male ethics. He only S-level female in the entire galaxy. He really got his head kicked by a donkey, buying the casket and returning the pearl. It's ridiculous. The war is over and I have awakened my S-level mental power. The Beast King held a grand celebration banquet, and I was one of the invited guests. As soon as I entered, Xiaolai grabbed me, "Sister, this is delicious. This is a state banquet. We have to eat more and get our money's worth." "Xiaochai, you are still too young." I smiled mysteriously and took out the necessary plastic bag for a banquet. "How much can you eat?" "Why are you standing there? Back it up." "Aha!" I raised his thumb and made a sixth gesture. "Sister 666. "Shall be a," I said, but blocked us with his body. "Hurry up and pretend." Yuan Yu was also noticed that he was all type. A real noble would only taste one bite of each food. "Yeah, ha ha ha." And "Shall be a," I said in unison. "So what?" El-Ikh's face turned green with anger, but when he saw Tianyu, he immediately stepped forward and took his arm and said softly, "Tianyu, will you use your military exploits to ask the Beast King to grant you a marriage?" Tianyu looked tired. "Alexia, let's talk about this later. Later. What later? Today." Alexia urged, "When the Beast King comes, you ask him to grant you a marriage, okay?" But Tianyu said nothing. The Beast King came on stage, and after a grand ceremony, he began to award various honors. Xiao Bei and the others said that honors were not important, but when they finally got the warrior medal, their mouths were getting wider and wider. Of course, I got one too. I held the gold medal that was bigger than my face, and my eyes were shining. Who doesn't like sparkling things? Miss QAI, in view of your heroic performance and outstanding military exploits, I allow you to make one more wish." The Beast King said with a smile, like a kind old grandfather. "Anything?" I asked. "Of course." El-Iksha's face changed drastically, and she pushed Lityanya. "You should ask the Beast King for marriage quickly. Otherwise, what if QEI asks the Beast King to marry you first?" Lityanya was silent for a moment and said bitterly, "He won't." I looked around, shouted I, "Aha, Xiao Bi AI and Yuan Yi." Everyone's eyes were focused on me. My wish is to set today as the victory day and give us one more day off every year without any adjustment. The whole audience was silent for a few seconds, and then the biggest cheer since the celebration banquet broke out. The Beast King laughed and said generously, "One day is not enough, 3 days." The surrounding applause was like a tide, and the atmosphere was extremely warm. The celebration banquet was coming to an end. No matter how Elixir urged, Lityan was not moved. I was playing with a cat on the side, and I didn't know how Yuanyi did it. After his spirit body recovered to the SS level, he could still control it to grow bigger and smaller. In front of me, his spirit body is always that cute little orange cat. Xiaomi, shake hands. The kitten obediently stretched out its chubby little paws. "Xiaomi, roll over." The kitten rolled a few times, revealing its snow-white soft belly. Yuan himself was serious, but his ears were red and almost bleeding. "Xiao," I was puzzled. "Deputy Captain, have you forgotten that you are not a cat?" "Yuan, I am." Aha scratched his head. "Deputy Captain, didn't you say that a man's face is more important than anything else? How can you act like a spoiled child in front of the captain?" "Yuan, what Xiaomi did has nothing to do with me, Yuan." Zhao Bai rolled his eyes directly pretend. Just as I was about to eat Xiaomi's head, Li Yanyu suddenly walked. He knelt on one knee and took out a ring. "Chu Yi, this is the ring I found with great difficulty. Please give me another chance." "Can we start over?" Li Xiao stomped her feet. "Li Yanyu, you are crazy." The long-lost barrage appeared. "Ah, why did the male protagonist propose to the cannon fodder? I'll make a big reversal. This book won't end like B, right? Akenon fodder, why does he get the love of the male protagonist? He is not the protagonist. Everyone at the scene cast their eyes at the same time, enjoying the melon. Yuan Yi and his teammates all looked at me nervously. I pondered for a few seconds and couldn't help saying, the sewer where I threw the ring seems to be the pipe for the large intestine to expel foreign objects. People around covered their noses one after another. Late affection is cheaper than grass. Late scumbags are more smelly than shit. Lin Qianyu broke his defense and quickly exposed his true nature. Then you can't not get married. You are a female who has broken off the engagement. Who else can you choose besides me? My life I choose and decide for myself. I can choose to marry the person I love. If not, I will not choose not to get married. I am the protagonist of my own life. Is this difficult to understand? Lin Qianyu was stunned. The kitten at hand me owed sweetly unhooked its tail around my finger. Let's continue the adventure. Great, let's go. During the adventure, by chance, the team talked about their hometowns. Everyone talked freely, but Yuan Yu was silent. Huey, I said, I know, he is from the Northern Theater. Yuan Yu's pupils trembled. How do you know I'm from the Northeast? Shall I quickly reminded, brother, you didn't clamp it just now. We didn't clamp it just now. Yeah, was confused, aimful, TSK, damn pincher. The young and bright girl smiled sweetly. I knew it a long time ago, because the Siberia Eiger is also known as the Northeast Tiger. A long time later, the legend of a brave man named Huey and his team was spread all over this. They swore allegiance, followed QEI, and dedicated their loyalty with their lives. The ending, I've already opened a membership and you show me this. So in the end, is it friendship or love? Damn author, come out and write a sequel for me. Woo! In any case, everything is the best arrangement.